Marie D, Boston Bannerbaum. We're talking Sox Talk today. It's all about the Red Sox. Happy opening day. They were supposed to open yesterday, but because of the rain, they opened up today against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. They're having a 3-game series over there. So today was actually supposed to be their random ass one day off in in a month. And they are now, instead, they had yesterday off. So now they're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then they're on the road and they don't come back until the 15th, and that's when their home opener is against the Twins. So let's talk about the fact that the Red Sox did avoid arbitration with a bunch of players. So I'm going to give you the list on that. However, they did not extend the contracts to Devers and Bogues, and I'm like, bro, why? I can kind of understand about Bogarts because now you have Trevor Story, who is an actual shortstop, who's literally taking one for the team and playing second base because Bogarts is our shortstop. So I can see if they don't re-sign Bogey and then they just put Trevor over to short and then they have Arroyo at second. If that's their plan, I don't hate it, but I don't love it, and I'll tell you why. Devers and Xanders has a bromance. So do I want them to break up? No, I do not. Do I want Devers to lose his best friend? No, I do not. However, we're about to lose both of them. So let's go over the Red Sox arbitration deals. Devers, $11.2 million just for the year. Verdugo, $3.5 million. Pivetta, $2.65 million. Pilecki, who is our backup catcher, $2.25. Brazier, $1.4. Arroyo, $1.2, who is our backup second baseman. And Josh Taylor, $1 million. Like I said, they did not extend contracts to Devers and Bogarts. So that is something to really pray for. Hope that, the second time around they give them a better deal, because we should literally be backing up the trucks for those two. Expanded rosters are expected until May 2nd because of the impact that the MLB owners imposed that the lockout had on the spring training schedule. The two sides have agreed to allow clubs a 28-man roster until May 2nd. They also immediately, how I was telling you there were all these rule changes and everything else, they immediately walked back the removal of ghost runners. So they will now forever have a runner on second in extras. It was my mistake. I thought that they just did it in playoffs, but they do it in regular season as well. And we saw it today because the Red Sox went into extras with the Yankees. Surprise, surprise. It was a 4-hour plus long game against the Yankees. Would you expect anything less? No, you would not. I'm going to get on what we just saw an hour ago, but let me just continue on with my notes, wrapping up the MLB notes and spring training. So the Otani Rule. How fucking cool is it that you're so good that they had to make a whole rule about you? So Shohei Otani, if you don't know, get familiar. He is an amazing pitcher, but he's also a fucking bat. He is he rakes, pitchers that rake. So there's now a rule that if a starting pitcher is used as a team's DH, they will be allowed to remain in the game as a hitter once their day on the mound has ended, which is great. So he can stay in the game, doesn't have to pitch, doesn't have to come out. He can stay in the game. He doesn't have to exit the game just because he's done pitching, which is awesome. Another thing that we're going to note is that I wrote down they are still checking pitchers for the sticky stuff randomly throughout the game. So that's always been an issue. The pitchers complained about not being able to use the sticky stuff. And they are still diligent on checking pitchers throughout the game to make sure they are not cheating, because that is not considered cheating. So obviously my main concern is pitching issues for the Red Sox. They started off spring training really hot, and then they kind of faded out. They finished spring training 11-8. They were actually first in the AL East for spring training standings, which is great. Sale might return sooner than we thought, which could be really good news because, it is really good news. If it's true, it's really good news because we need pitching help like it's nobody's business. We are hurting, and we saw it today. And again, I'll get to the game that we just saw today. But in the spring training, Devers had 6 home runs. Beautiful. Starting hot, staying hot. Cora also surprise, surprise, says that there is no named actual closer. Spoiler alert, it's because he doesn't have one. So he didn't name one because he doesn't have one. So that's going to be up for grabs. Someone really needs to solidify that role, take on that role, and actually be good at that role so that we can win games. All right, so let's talk about it. Game that just happened today, 1 o'clock start, play ball, opening day in Yankee Stadium, and we started off hot. Xander Bogaerts is the first player ever to make as many as 9 opening day starts as a shortstop for the Red Sox. That's pretty cool. I also wrote down Kike stays in center field and JBJ is in right field. And I find that interesting because JBJ is a Gold Glover and he's kind of like the captain of the outfield. So the fact that he's kind of taking a backseat to Kike is interesting because JBJ isn't new to this team. He is a vet. Just because he left and came back doesn't mean that he doesn't have, value on this team. So I see that now Trevor Story is taking one for the team and JBJ is taking one for the team, and they're trying to just insert themselves and not disturb the team and just kind of trying to just flow. Like they don't want to come in and disturb anything and be divas. They're like, okay, you're playing this position. Cool. I'll play this position. They're all being very utility players. They're all being utilized correctly and they're all very flexible. And I really appreciate that. So, sorry, now let's get straight to the game. So Raphael Devers is the first Red Sox player to ever homer in his final plate appearance of a regular season game and then homer in his first plate appearance of the regular season. So no surprise, Devers was hot, stays hot. He got a 2-run home run to start the game right at the top of the first inning. They walked Kike for the leadoff walk, and then Devers hit him in, 2-run home run. Then JD RBI double scores bogey, and that was all in the first inning. So Sox were up 3-0, but surprise, surprise, Yankees can't let us win. They come back and they score 2. Rizzo has a 2-run home run off Eovaldi, and that's all in the first. So game was action right away, right at the first pitch, boom. There was no waiting around. They jumped on it. They capitalized. I wrote, Story looks good at second, but is very anxious at the plate. Way too excited to hit. He was not going deep into any counts. He was actually swinging at the first pitch. He was 0 for 5 for the day. Obviously, it's his first day. I'm not going to hold him. He's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. Do I look worried? I'm not worried. So then Giancarlo Stanton has a solo leadoff home run in the 4th off Nate Eovaldi to tie the game, 3-3. Then Bogaerts is looking kind of shaky at shortstop. He had a routine ground ball hit to him, and it was kind of a, oops, thought it was in my glove, error. Just wasn't looking that great on that side of the field. So Garrett Cole only pitched 4 innings. He had an early exit for the Yankees. 5th inning, Kike hits into a double play. 6th inning, RBI single for Verdugo, scores Xander. Sox take the lead 4-3. Then Story reaches on a fielder's choice bobble, which could have easily been turned 2 for a double play. That was his first time on base in the game, but again, like I said, he was 0 for 5 because a fielder's choice doesn't count as an at-bat. It doesn't count as a hit towards you because if they fielded the ball cleanly, it would have been a double play. There was no way that they weren't going to make that double play if he didn't bobble it at short. Keynote, Yankees used 4 pitchers by the 6th inning, so they were kind of just rifling through their bullpen real quick. And I thought that was going to be an issue for them. But I found that, no, it was not. It was actually an issue for us because our bullpen is fucking trash. Let's carry on. Loaded bases with the walk to JBJ, 2 outs loaded for Vasquez, but he strikes out. So there were opportunities to score more to extend the lead, but the Sox bats just weren't awake. I don't know what happened. They just, they started off really hot in the first inning and then they went really cold. Nate pitched 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 walk, had 7 strikeouts, but he did have those 3 earned runs when he exited the game. Whitlock was the first out of the bullpen to get the start in the 6th inning. Yankees used 5 pitchers by the 7th. The Sox had only used 2. Verdugo, a vacuum out in left field, diving catches, stellar catches, great performance. He was great at bat too, looking really good, like the 99 that I know. Just started off really hot, really impressed with Doogie. Not a surprise, but still pleasantly happy with his performance today. Yankees used 6 pitchers by the 8th inning. Whitlock stayed in for the 8th inning. Sox used 3 pitchers by the bottom of the 8th. Yankees used 7 pitchers by the top of the 9th. Then a solo home run by LeMahieu ties the game at 4 in the bottom of the 8th. And with that, Whitlock exits the game and Strahm enters with his long locks of luscious hair. Arroyo pinch hits for JBJ at the top of the 9th and strikes out. We're still tied going into the bottom of the 9th. We were really wondering who is going to get the closing position for this game because obviously, as I already said, Cora hasn't named a closer, doesn't have one, doesn't trust anyone. Neither do I. He puts Robles in to pitch the 9th. Judge gets a double, which worried me, but I was like, okay, we got this. Then the intentional walk to the second guy. Stanton then strikes out. There was 2 outs at that point. Game goes into extras. Love to see it. We love free baseball. We love free baseball on opening day. We love Yankees Red Sox games that go 4 hours in 9 innings. Definitely add on some more innings. We're here for it. We're in for the ride. Let's fucking go. It's a beautiful day to play baseball. Ghost runner is now used because, like I said, they did not eliminate this rule. They reinstated it. They use it during regular season games. I was incorrect when I thought it was just in the playoffs. So they added, with the ghost runner on second, they subbed in Araruz. So he was the pinch runner at this point. Yankees have used 8 pitchers by the 10th inning, and the Sox have now used 6. So that's when we see that the numbers are starting to be a little bit more even now. Yankees used people really early in the game, but then the Sox were struggling when it came to closing the game, and they used almost as much pitchers as the Yankees did. Kike strikes out. They intentionally walk Devers. Bogey, RBI single. Ruiz scores. 5-4. Sox lead it in the 10th. Dykeman then gets the start in the 10th for the Sox. He then hits the batter, and then we intentionally walk to load the bases with 1 out. Dykeman exits the game. Brazier enters the game, and I hold my breath for dear life because I don't trust Ryan Brazier as far as I can throw him. But unfortunately, or actually fortunately, he pleasantly surprised me. He got out of the inning. Oh, actually, no, he did not. I'm sorry. I need to read my notes before I speak. Sac fly, 5-5, tied the game. So he didn't lose the game for us, but he didn't help us keep the lead. So Brazier, unfortunately, didn't surprise me, but he didn't lose the game. He just helped them tie the game. So it wasn't like a terrible outing. He didn't do terrible, but he didn't do great. 11th inning rolls around. Crawford to pitch the bottom of the 11th. And then, unfortunately, RBI up the middle between Ruiz and Trevor Story. Yankees walk off, win it at the bottom of the 11th, 6-5. So what I noted here was it was interesting that when they put Ruiz in for Bogues, that Trevor didn't then switch over to short, and then Ruiz could have played second. And I think the only reason maybe why they didn't do that was because Trevor played second for 10 innings. Why would you then swap him over to the other side? Even though I'm sure it feels more natural and comfortable for him being at short. They didn't want to mess him up for an inning or two, so I can understand that. I wish he could have gotten to short because I feel like he would have gotten a better jump on that ball. To be honest, it was in no man's land. It was a very clear base hit. I just wish that maybe the outfield was playing a little differently so they could have gotten the ball in quicker so that they could have prevented the run to score, but there's really nothing you could do at that point. It was a nicely hit ball right in the gap, and that's when the ghost runner is an advantage, because if they didn't have a ghost runner, he would have been at third, and no one would have scored. So the reason why they use the ghost runner is to speed up games so that we're not going 15 innings, 16 innings, 7-hour games. But would I have loved to take that one back? Absolutely. Am I the most worried about the pitching staff? 100%. You would think back in the day, a 3-0 lead would be enough to win a game, but not in this day and age of baseball. The scoring has been up. The run production has been up. It's basically a game of strikeouts and home runs, like for the most part. So you can never be too comfortable with any lead. We've been seeing that for the past couple of years. You could have a 6-run lead and still lose. Wild to think, but we love the new action of this game. We love the speed, the intensity. We love to see the numbers, like basically football scores. Like that's really cool and really fun to see. But we just couldn't close this one out. Yankees got us there. We're down 0-1 in the series. It was the home opener. They could have played yesterday, but they couldn't because of the rain. So, they just need to refocus. Because like I said, the Red Sox play literally every single day. They have maybe one day off a month. They need to get used to it. They have to play again tomorrow, and they need to even out the series. Every game matters to me. Every game counts. You want to be able to be winning in the regular season series with teams, especially in our division and in our conference. So it was unlucky. Started off hot, fizzled out. Can't do that. Need to start off hot, stay hot. The laundry cart needs to get those miles in, okay? It's going to be a long haul. We have 162 games. This is just game one. I have complete faith. Key things, topics that we got to keep an eye out on. Signing Raffy and Bogues. That's our number one mission. Has to happen. Figuring out if Chris Sale is going to be able to pitch anytime soon and is healthy and can stay healthy. Getting extra pitchers, because we need a pitcher that can pitch. We need a closer that can close. I need to feel confident in my bullpen. And obviously Beard Watch for Cora. That thing is fierce. It is deadly. It is scary. And it is kind of like intimidating to look at. So love that my coach is my coach. I have complete faith in him, trust in Cora. Chaim Bloom needs to, open up his pockets and dish out this money so that we can have a good team, because I will be damned if we let another Mookie Betts type player leave and for nothing. Like, no, can't do it. Devers is literally like the next big Poppy. He's like Little Poppy. That's what they're calling him. I didn't trademark that. They're literally calling him that. He is Little Poppy. He's killing it. He is someone that we need on our team. He's the face of our team, and it would be really dumb if we nickel and dime and lose both Raffy and Xander just to save a couple of dollars. Like I would literally die. Like that would suck. That would suck. So obviously, like I said, the Red Sox play legitimately every goddamn day. So I will not be on here recapping every single game. I will come on here when I feel it's necessary. Obviously, I do my Celtics talk. This is mainly a Celtics fan page. But I want you to get into Red Sox. I want you to get into baseball. There's obviously a time in the year where there's no Celtics and there's no Bruins and there's no football, so it's all baseball. So hopefully you guys can, get invested and come on this ride with me and enjoy it. So I'll come on here when I feel like it, as usual. You know the vibes, you know me. This has been Brie Marie D for Boston Bannerbound Sox Talk. Go Celtics, go Red Sox, go Celtics. And I'm never good at closing out these videos, but it's just game one. I'm not worried. The bullpen has me scared though, so they got to figure that shit out.